in general, why don't we call our team members as chat operators? So our platform has various products, and in future we plan to add more products as well. And to add team members to your account, you need to go to Workspace, and the very first thing that you need to do is create roles and permissions. You need to click on roles and permission, and then you can click on add a new user role. So right now we have made the permissions control for 3 of our products, that is VABA, CRM, and Chat Panel. In the future, you'll also see options for Bot Builder, Automations Builder as well. So you can basically create particular roles for your team members and assign them specific access to specific sections in our platform. For example, you want a dedicated person to only manage your WhatsApp API account, and maybe not an intern or a chat operator to maybe create templates or send bulk messages. So you can have one team member taking care of maybe campaigns or broadcasts. So we can simply name it as campaign manager. Now they'll require access to VABA. They don't need access to conversations, but they'll need access to templates section. So you can allow access to only to the template section to the particular campaign manager. With this, they'll require access to CRM. They'll require access to contacts, so they can create, edit, or delete the contact. And they'll also require access to sending broadcast messages. So you can allow that access as well. And if you want to even allow them access to, say, custom fields for creating filters, you can allow it from here. And filter lists are basically segments, so you can allow it from here. So what I mean to show here is you can have one particular role or a team member permission level to allow access to individual pages or sections on our platform. And you can create maybe a campaign manager like this. And you can also create another team member who has only access to the chat panel. So let us name it as chat operator 2, because I already have a chat operator role. So I'm writing chat operator 2, and then I'm only allowing chat panel access to the particular operator. Now in this, we have multiple permissions again. First, you can allow them access to all the contacts via the chat panel. You can also remove this contact. Then you can allow them the access to a particular contact's profile. So they'll be able to create the contact, edit the contact, and delete the contact. We have this unique option here wherein you can basically show or hide identifiers. So identifiers are basically their WhatsApp number, their email ID, their Facebook ID. All these things are known as identifiers. So if you have a requirement of a client wherein the chat operator is interacting with the customer, but he or she is not able to see the customer's mobile number, you can achieve it via this option. And next, we have option of allowing them access to unassigned chats, new as well as all chats. So I'll once disable this, and then we can save this. Now to create, so right now we've basically created the rules. The next thing you have to do is create a team member inside or assigned with a particular role. So you need to click on team members, add team member. You can name it as maybe, let me write it as member 4. You need to enter an email ID, also and password. You can also reset the password later or change it via the workspace settings, and then you can select the role of the particular member or teammate and then click on save. Now an email will be sent to the particular team member to basically verify their ID, email ID. And once the email is verified, they'll be able to log in. So this was the brief idea about how you can create a user role, allow them access to specific sections in the particular products, as well as how to create a team member. Now, first, I'll take you to the live chat section, because we have few specific common requirements from end users on how they can hide a particular identifier. So these are known as the identifiers. And if you don't allow access to the identifier to your chat operators, they won't see this general details tab. To demonstrate this to you properly, let me, open up an inbox with just a chat operator role and without the access to the identifiers. One second. So now this user doesn't have access to the CRM, to the bot builder, automations builder, or to the VABA. So they'll only see option to access the live chat. And once they access the live chat, here you'll see that this particular chat operator is only getting 3 options: mine, unread, and archived. But the admin account has 2 more options, all and new chats. So this user will only see chats that are assigned to this particular chat operator. They won't see all the chats of the system. So if you don't allow, let me go to the permissions page. So if you don't allow unassigned chats, then a chat operator won't see the chats which are pending or unassigned. So they'll only see the chats which are basically assigned to them. Now we have also hidden the identifiers from them, that is the mobile number. You'll see that they don't see the option of general details or the identifier. So the chat operator won't have access to the actual contact number of the customer. Now what do they see? So they basically see the contact's name, the actual WhatsApp name. With that, we have given an option wherein wherein the chat operator as well as you can have nicknames to your contact. So these nicknames can be your customer ID as well. It can be unique. For each contact, you can import this via CSV. You can update this via the API to set custom field. And these particular nicknames would work as an identifier for your team members or chat operators who don't have access to contacts. Now, let me take you to the inbox to explain which field is this. So we have 2 name fields by default. One is a generic name field. So this is basically the WhatsApp name of the contact. And second is a chat name field. So this is basically the nickname field of the contact. So if you have a nickname to a contact in inbox, it would first show the nickname, and then in bracket, it would show the actual name of the contact, that is the WhatsApp name of the contact. So this is a USP wherein your customers can basically, or you can basically assign a unique ID to each of your contacts, which is easier for your internal communication, and you're actually hiding the customer's actual data or the contact number from your employees. Now let us talk about another feature. We'll start with the auto. Okay, so first I would like to ask, do we have any queries in regards of how we can hide particular data from any team member and how to create a team member or how to create a role? After this, we'll go to assignment aspect. So if there are any queries, kindly either raise your hands or maybe, comment it. So are there any limits of team members that can be created? Yes, there's a limit. It depends on the plan that you're on. All of the plans have limits between 2 to 10 team members in general. And above that, they are paid add-ons to add more than maybe 5 or 10 team members, depending upon the plan. Vijayji, I have shared your feedback with the team, and possibly in the future, and we'll have more granular level approach of hiding the API keys from team members. So this has been considered, but no ETA on when we can have it in the future. But we'll surely have it in the future. Okay. So any further queries in regards of creating rules, creating permissions, hiding some details from the team member? With that, possibly some limits related questions. Okay. So I'll go to the second part of today's session, that is assignment of team members using the bot builder. That is the automated assignment. So let us consider a case wherein the customer wants, that the customer maybe has a bot flow. Let me open up the demo bot itself. Okay, so this is a bot flow wherein the bot gets started with the trigger, then there's a welcome message, and then obviously we are asking certain questions. First is contact sales team, second is contact support team. So you might have different employees for your sales as well as support who are utilizing the same inbox to manage your chat with the end users, or utilizing the same number. So we'll consider a case wherein first you have only one employee answering to the customers, maybe one from sales and one from support. So you can simply have a block somewhere here that, once the customer gives you the query, whatever query they have, in the next step, you are assigning the chat to a chat agent, and then you can assign it to a particular team member and then click on save agent. So now what will happen is the flow would start, a welcome message would be sent, a question would be sent to the customer. They select a contact sales team option. Sanjay this side from sales team, a message goes, and then a question is asked, and then the chat is automatically assigned to the agent. Now, if this agent block is the last block in the workflow, then the bot would stop here and then human takeover would happen. But we introduced a feature few weeks back and we didn't announce it. But just in case you want to continue the questionnaire, so the bot keeps on running while your agent might see, the bot later on, or the inbox later on. So the bot can also continue the process or continue the flow ahead. For example, something like this. Thanks for your query. So we sent a thank you message to the lead, and then we can, ask a question that in the meantime, would you like to explore some demo content, or maybe see our brochure or see our Insta page? Your customers, you can mainly push the user to another landing page, send some more content. Now the contact will get automatically assigned to the chat operator, but the bot would still continue. So once the chat operator, so basically it would show them in the Mind tab if they don't have access to other, all the chats, then they can see the contacts in the Mind chat, and the bot would still keep on continuing. I mean, it won't stop. So this is the use case here, wherein the chat can be assigned and then the bot can also further continue. And once the chat operator replies from the inbox, then the bot would stop in between. Now let us take another case wherein you have more than one team member. Then what you can do is you can click on the plus icon, click on add automation app, and then click on splitter. You can have multiple routes. Click on save, and then you can assign. So here what would happen is it would work on a round robin basis, that the first chat incoming would go to the first chat operator, the second chat incoming would go to the second operator, the third chat incoming would basically go to the third operator. And then again you can have the same bot flow of assigned to an agent. And then if you continue the bot ahead, it would keep on continuing, and if you don't continue it, then it would basically, the bot flow would stop here. So here you can have round robin or a splitter action. With that you can have the option of single assignment, continuing the bot flow even after the agent has been assigned, or stopping the bot flow in between, not in between, but once the chat has been assigned to an agent. Now let us go to the inbox to understand few more aspects. So once the chat is assigned to me as a chat operator, just give me 1 second. Yeah, so once the chat has been assigned to me as a chat operator would have multiple options. I can reply to the contact. I can also create chat notes by clicking on this option, and these chat notes can be media files as well as the text. And I can update the custom fields and all these things. Now, once I've completed the conversation as a chat operator with the client, I can trigger a bot flow. So this bot flow in general can be share a feedback flow. So whatever chatbots are active for one particular channel, I mean this particular channel, it would show here. And you can inform your sales team or your team members that once you have solved the customer query, you can assign a bot flow and then trigger it. Now how this feedback flow could practically look like is something of this sort, wherein the first step, sorry, I have opened combinations. Yeah, so wherein the first step can be a trigger, and then you can add a time delay. So why time delay? Because as soon as the agent has completed the chat as per him, so we can add a time delay of say 1 hour, and after 1 hour you are asking or sending them a question or taking a feedback that how would you like to rate the support by the chat operator or something of the sort, with maybe 3 ratings. So it can be button, and if you want more than 3, then you can opt for a list block. So this is something that you can do, and then you can also save the response to custom field because it's a question block. This can be helpful to know how your customer support team is actually performing. The second thing that we can do as a chat operator is we can obviously transfer a chat to other members. But whenever I'll transfer a chat to other member, it will stop displaying to me in the Mind tab, because now I won't be assigned to the particular contact anymore. Next, I have the option of mark as done, mark as unread. So for instance, my interaction with this client is not completed. So I can mark the chat as unread, and then it would be visible to me in the unread filter. And this unread would only be for chats that are assigned to me, not to all of the contacts. Next, we have the option of archive. It would basically go to archive, clear, close. Now, what is, clear chat would basically delete all the messages, and delete chat would basically delete the entire contact. We are adding in a permission layer wherein a chat operator won't be able to delete a contact or even clear a chat or delete any individual messages. This is a feature request, would go live in 1 or 2 weeks. So whatever messaging chat operator is doing, it won't, the chat operator won't have any permission to basically delete the messages. So admin can anytime see it. Now we have a new feature basically known as close chat. In this particular case, the chat has got closed, but if the same contact sends a message again, then by default the member 3 would get the message. So the contact is not directly visible because we want to declutter the inbox, because there is no pending query for the contact pending as per the chat operator, but the chat is right now assigned a sticky agent, that is member3. So anytime in the future run, if the same contact sends in a message for any queries, then same chat operator would get the message. Now you can see here the assigned team member is shown as member3. Okay, now this is basically the admin account with access to all the chats as well as new chats. And if as a chat operator, I would have, let me reassign another chat to member3. So I can show you how it would appear as a chat operator. So I have the last option, mark as done. So when I'm clicking on mark as done, this chat won't be assigned to member3 anymore. So it would be basically unassigned, and then either it has to be reassigned via the automation flow, or an admin could assign any chat manually to any team member as well. And one more thing, any chat operator who's basically interacting with the client, or if even a bot is sending messages to the client, or even if broadcast, so you would see the broadcast name or the bot name or the chat operator name below each message, that this particular message was sent by which flow, which API, which team member. So this was a brief information about all the small options in regards of contact management in the inbox. So if there are any queries in this, kindly ask.
Akshay, in this team inbox, like when bot is triggering, so at the end, if we don't mark it as done, so again the bot will not flow, right? So for the same person.
Yes. So how it works is, whenever a human has taken over a contact, bot would stop working. But if a human has taken over, the bot would stop working. So bot cannot answer it in between whenever a human is interacting with the client. So you will have to basically mark is at done, or you can also close chat. Then it would disappear from here, and then the bot can take over. These are the two options. And in case you're running broadcast campaigns and you want that bot should take over, right, to your maybe broadcast, then you can click on this three dots in the CRM and click on mark as done all. So this would basically mark all of your contacts as done, and they would respond to the bot. Or you can also, when you're broadcasting, you can basically broadcast a bot instead. One second. Yeah. Message. Yeah. So instead of a message, you can broadcast a bot. So then in this case, you won't have to mark it as done, the individual contacts, but your first message in the WhatsApp bot should be a template message. If that is the case, the particular contact will get that template message assigned, the bot assigned, and the template would go. But one very important aspect, that you cannot have any statistics if you're broadcasting a bot, whether the message was read, delivered, or stuff, because it's like running an individual bot with a contact. So no statistical data can be stored if you're broadcasting a bot. So if even if you're broadcasting, in that case, in brief again, so as soon as the human is involved, the message would go, but the bot won't intervene in between. Now I have, I think, one more question in the inbox. Once the chat is assigned, previous chat conversation before assignment would be visible or not? Sir, it would be visible. So it works as a unified inbox, and the entire previous chat history, all the messagings would be visible to any person taking over.
Akshay, so for example, if we are chatting with the support team A, and then we go to the broadcast option, and then we send a regular message without clicking the all done part or without closing the chat here, will that go?
The broadcast would go. But if you have a bot based on the broadcast, for example, you have a broadcast with 2 buttons, yes or no, and you want that if someone is clicking on yes, and you have created a bot flow trigger in your automations, then that bot won't work, but your broadcast would surely go.
Yeah, bot will not work as we are like the human is talking, right?
Yes, but your broadcast messaging would go, and you will also be able to see, the broadcast being sent in the inbox in real time as well.
Understood. So, other than that, like there is no limitation, we can send out the broadcast. And the only reason why you sent, like you asked us to click on mark all as done is if you want to trigger a bot after the broadcast, right?
Yes, yes, sir.
Understood. Thank you.
And
Yeah.
actually, like we are transferring this chat to another agent. So if I want to communicate with the other agent, like I wanted to tell him the price what we quoted for them, maybe in the call. So can I tell them internally without visible to the customer?
So by adding chat notes, so all the
Oh.
chat notes are visible here in the right hand side. So you can add the chat notes here.
Okay. And this thing like notification thing, like for the chat, like the notification are not much this thing way. Like when we get a new message, that notification is very not even. I think we are not even getting the sound as well.
So we are working on a mobile app. I mean, I think we have V3 live already, but it has close to 30-40 bugs. V4 is expected by June end or July end. That should be more or less bug free. So with that, the push notifications and everything is taken care of. Right now, the notifications are more or less browser based. So there are certain limitations with them, and that's why it's not that proper. But with the mobile app, it would be quite proper, sir.
Okay.
Okay, so answering your query in the chat, Vijayji, all the previous chat would be visible, would be stored. Any operator coming in maybe in the later stage would be able to see. So the customer won't have to send his details again and again, even if the chat is getting transferred. Can we see a demo of the mobile app? I think